Coming up on Citrus TV News, a record number of SU students took to Hendricks Chapel last night to take a stand against sexual and relationship violence.
With April comes Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Find out what SU has planned for the rest of the month.
The governor of California is ordering a mandatory restriction as the drought in the state continues.
And nuclear negotiations with Iran are continuing despite running past the arranged deadline. Citrus TV starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6 for Wednesday, April 1st. I'm Ali Bauman.
And I'm Gerhard. The lineup for Mayfest and Block Party has been announced, and that's our top story tonight. Well, the wait is finally over. Students at SU now know which artists are coming to campus for the annual Mayfest and Block Party shows. 50 Cent and G-Unit are headlining Block Party in the Carrier Dome, and EDM artist Kygo will join them during the show.
As for Mayfest, rap duo Ray Spurman will be performing at Walnut Park. University Union made the announcement last night on Twitter. When Citrus TV asked students about the announcement, we got some mixed reactions.
Excited. I still got tickets. I'm still going.
Did you get tickets right when they went on sale this morning at 10?
I did. I got floor seats. Yes, awesome. I did. And I'm probably just gonna listen to them nonstop from now on until Mayfest. So.
What was your initial reaction?
No. Why? I mean, some people want to relive their childhood. I preferably don't.
To let them relive their childhood one last time before they have to go into the real world. But personally, I was a little bit let down.
I was kind of surprised by the hip-hop artists because G-Unit hasn't been relevant in a little while. There could be worse.
The two concerts are both happening April 24th. Mayfest is in the afternoon show in Walnut Park. Doors open for Block Party at 6:30.
Pre-sale tickets went on sale earlier today, and floor tickets sold out in just minutes. Tickets in other sections are still available to be purchased online.
Now let's head over to weather anchor Monica Hammer for our first look.
It is currently 38 degrees outside with sunny skies and winds at around 13 miles per hour. Because of those winds, it feels more like 29 degrees with a low of 28. There wasn't too much change in temperature throughout the course of the day. And if we take a look at the quad cam, we can see that most of that snow is finally gone as we head into April. Syracuse is looking at some warmer temperatures over the next couple of days, so stay tuned for my full weather forecast later in the show to find out how long the warm weather will be sticking around.
Take Back the Night 2015 is underway at Syracuse University. The national movement aims to end sexual violence and assault. Last night, a record number of students and community members filled Hendricks Chapel at the Take Back the Night rally. It is an event meant to raise awareness about sexual and relationship violence.
Attendees pledged to take a stand against this violence and to work together to create a safer community. Organizers were excited about the participation, but hope it sparks a long-term commitment to end violence.
That students take away that, it's great to come here for one night, but that really being committed to ending violence takes more than just one big night a year. And so really trying to find those ways that they can really enact their beliefs in how to end violence on a daily basis is what I really hope.
Next Wednesday, the public is invited to break the silence to stop the violence. That event is sponsored by Amen's Issue, and it is happening April 7th at 7 p.m. in the Shine Underground.
In his first domestic visit as Secretary of Defense, Ashton Carter came to upstate New York. On Monday, he visited Fort Drum and yesterday addressed the Syracuse University campus. Carter met with officials and students involved with the school's Institute for Veterans and Military Families and said the group is setting an example for the country to follow. Citrus TV reporter Nick Papantonis has the story.
Secretary of Defense Carter walked into Dean Hall today with two clear messages. It's going to take more than just the military to solve the problems of today, and the work that Syracuse is doing is a really good place to start.
Why partner with Syracuse University? And the brutal answer is the competence.
On his first domestic trip outside of Washington, Carter lauded not just Syracuse's military history, but public service of all kinds.
There's nothing better than getting out of bed in the morning and knowing you're going to be part of something bigger than yourself.
He addressed the changing face of war and said just sending in the troops isn't enough in today's world.
It's just a much wider game now, and you can't take that narrow point of view that I suppose it was possible for me to take earlier in my career. Not so anymore. So that's another way in which we need to think big and we need to think broadly.
The key? Build a good foundation using programs like the Institute for Veterans and Military Families and Syracuse University.
And the way we'll know how to improve our game is to build our programs on the back of careful research of a kind that, as I said earlier, this institution almost alone in our country is actually doing.
And remaining active in world affairs.
The technology base is global and it is commercial. And so we can't stay within our own walls and have what we need for technological excellence in the future.
During his talk, Secretary Carter also made clear that people, not technology, were the future to American defense. For CitrusTV News, I'm Nick Papantonis.
For a more in-depth take on Secretary Carter's visit, tune in for the next episode of Talking Points on Citrus TV.
April marks Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and Syracuse University will be holding events through April 27th in celebration. Tonight at 7 p.m. in Gifford Auditorium, Jenny Yang, an LA-based writer and stand-up comedian, will perform at the Asian American Comedy Night. The commemorative speaker is Miss America 2014, Nina Davalori, who has traveled the country to speak about diversity and culture. She is speaking at SU on April 14th.
We are trying to highlight the stories, the experiences of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders around the country, around the world.
And the future of I-81 is still being debated by officials and groups across New York State. The Downtown Committee of Syracuse announced a possible solution for the replacement of the I-81 viaduct. Citrus TV News reporter Cheyenne Devon takes us downtown with the full story.
The Downtown Committee of Syracuse has recently released a graphic explaining the advantages of replacing the I-81 viaduct with a street-level boulevard.
The community has been talking a lot about the future of the I-81 viaduct, and our goal was to take that complex dialogue and break it down into terms that might be easier for people that aren't as familiar with the conversations about what to do with 81. What's underneath the highway becomes available for development. And we figured out that's 7 acres of new development opportunities. So imagine the opportunities that could come from that space. You could have premium retailers, new restaurants, additional office space, new residential units, green public space, blocks of paths for cyclists and pedestrians. It'd be a walkable, inviting community, not just to those that live and work here, but to those passing through, those driving through. Syracuse would look more inviting and welcoming.
Although the Downtown Committee of Syracuse has released their graphic explaining the benefits of the street-level solution to I-81, some citizens have had a problem with I-81 since it was first constructed.
It's ugly. It's ungodly ugly. And it's inappropriate to have a thing like that going through the middle of the city.
The Downtown Committee of Syracuse believes that a street-level boulevard would strengthen the connections between the downtown neighborhood and the University Hill neighborhood. Cheyenne Devon, Citrus TV News.
The Downtown Committee of Syracuse will be conducting more research on possible replacements for the I-81 viaduct and will be releasing their findings later on this month.
Well, the calendar may say that we're in spring here in Syracuse, but it sure feels a lot like winter. If you tuned into Z89 today on your radio, you may have noticed that it also sounds like winter. Today, the Syracuse radio station rebranded itself as Elf 89, playing exclusively Christmas music around the clock. In a press release, Elf 89 said they will play holiday songs all year long now. However, we'll wait to see if their promise holds after today, April Fool's Day.
Coming up on Citrus TV news in California, and the state's governor just issued an emergency order to the residents.
And world leaders are set to meet again tomorrow to try and settle an agreement over Iran's nuclear program. We'll be right back.
Looks like it's done. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
California Governor Jerry Brown is imposing mandatory water restrictions in light of the drought. He wants to reduce water usage by 25%. The Sierra Nevada snowpack is nearing a record low, which also contributed to the governor's decision. In addition to the restriction, the executive action will replace 50 million square feet with drought-tolerant landscaping. Senator Bob Menendez was indicted today on corruption charges after being accused of abusing his position of power. Menendez was indicted on 14 counts, including bribery and conspiracy. He has not put forth any plans to step down at this time, nor does he plan to give up any power during the proceedings. Menendez is the first U.S. senator to face federal bribery charges since fellow New Jersey Democrat Harrison Williams Jr. in 1980.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson will not sign the state's version of a religious freedom bill without some changes. He said he wants his state to be known as one that does not discriminate, but understands tolerance. Indiana signed a similar bill last week, causing protests across the state because some have interpreted the bill to mean that businesses could discriminate against LGBTQ customers based on religious beliefs.
Nuclear negotiations with Iran are now 2 days past the original deadline. The talk went past the midnight deadline on Tuesday and resumed this morning with 6 other world powers. The nations are trying to agree to terms that will limit Iran's nuclear program while alleviating economic sanctions against the country. While there are still disagreements over the country's enrichment uranium stockpile, the negotiations have been extended once again and will continue tomorrow.
Today, Lufthansa CEO Carsten Spohr and the head of Germanwings, Thomas Winkelmann, visited the area of the Alps where Germanwings flight A320 crashed on March 24th. They were asked questions about co-pilot Andreas Lubitz's psychological state and why they haven't released more information about it yet they refused to provide any answers. At this time, all Spohr would say is that the airline is, quote, learning more every day, end quote, about what might have led to the crash, but it will, quote, take a long time to understand how this could happen. A new day and a new Nigeria are upon us. Those are the words from Nigerian President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, following the first time in their country's history that the opposition has defeated the ruling party in a democratic election. The election's incumbent, Goodluck Jonathan, who served as Nigeria's president since 2010, called Buhari earlier today to concede defeat to him in the election. Buhari, who won the election by nearly 2 million votes, was congratulated by President Obama, who commended the Nigerian president's efforts of promoting peace.
Well, now let's head over to Monica with your full weather.
It is currently 38 degrees outside with sunny, clear skies. Winds are at around 13 miles per hour, and we have a low of 28 degrees. Taking a look at temperatures across the Northeast, things are starting to warm up with New York City over here at around 46 degrees. And if we take a look further inland, we see Chicago at around 67, so some higher temperatures. Taking a look at the current surface map of the area, we see no stormy weather is headed in our direction. We are seeing a little bit of rain coming down from the north, but that rain shouldn't be hitting us until later this week. Tonight, temperatures will drop down to around 28 degrees with winds at 5 miles per hour. Skies will be partly cloudy, but the chances of precipitation are not very high. Tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures increasing to around 62 degrees. Alongside that, we'll be seeing some partly cloudy skies. Winds are expected to be at around 17 miles per hour. We are looking at a low of 48, which is still warmer than what temperatures were today, so we're definitely going to be seeing an increase in those temperatures. Taking a broader look at the forecast for tomorrow, we are going to see a lot of sun along both coasts of the country, but we do see some stormy and windier rain weather inside. We do see some of that headed into our direction, but we won't be getting much of that rain until Friday. If we take a look at that precipitation forecast over the next 48 hours, we are looking at around an inch of rain, possibly 1 to 3 inches, but again, that shouldn't be hitting until Friday. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, temperatures will significantly increase tomorrow to the 60s, but then they will start to drop again this weekend. Friday, we are expecting a high of 58 degrees with a 40% chance of rain, and Saturday we are seeing an 80% chance of snow with temperatures dropping back into the 30s. After the weekend, we will see temperatures start to rise again, but not quite as high as what is expected for tomorrow.
All right, well, Monica, a lot of people are going to be traveling this weekend for the holidays, so what should drivers be looking out for in terms of weather?
They should definitely be careful, especially if they're traveling Friday and Saturday, because those days is when we're looking at 40 and 80% chances of precipitation, both rain and snow.
Crazy. Well, thanks, Monica. Coming up after the break, good news if you haven't been getting your recommended 8 hours of sleep each night.
And how you could be running errands with the push of a button. We'll be right back.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Back. Well, it's closing in on 6:30 right now in Syracuse, and after a long day of work or classes, you may be feeling tired. A new study from Albion University, though, urges you to embrace your tired brain as it may be in its most creative state right now.
The study tested more than 400 students on questions that were both insight-based and analytical at different times of day and concluded that being tired may actually help you solve problems that require insight. The researchers caution people to apply this technique responsibly, but claim that putting off creative tasks for whatever your brain might be the sleepiest could yield the most creative results.
Now, imagine being able to order more paper towels while you reach for your last roll, while Amazon is about to make your dreams come true. I know this isn't a joke. Amazon Dash will be a Wi-Fi powered adhesive button that you can stick anywhere on the house, and with one push, it will reorder certain supplies for you. This new gadget is only available to Prime members for now.
Well, McDonald's workers are getting a pay raise. The fast food chain announced on Wednesday that employees are getting a 10% pay bump and extra benefits. The raise affects around 90,000 workers and expects to rise to more than $10 by the end of the year. McDonald's CEO Steve Easterbrook says in a statement that they are listening to their employees to bring them the benefits that they request. The New York State Fair has confirmed that Snoop Dogg will be performing next September. Snoop Dogg is a world-renowned rapper and entertainer with hits like Gin and Juice and Drop It Like It's Hot, and is releasing another album in May. His free concert will be on September 2nd in the Chevy Court.
And coming up in sports, new sanctions on the horizon, this time for Syracuse lacrosse. Jim Boeheim has been named the front-runner for the SU athletic director, and the Knicks don't suck. It's sports, and it's April, so stick around.
College, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Last year we were jack of all trades and a master of none. So he wants to make sure that we master, what we have, and then we could work around other things. But make sure that the thing that he really wants us to work on is, wide receivers getting it the right depth, quarterbacks throwing it on time, little things like that. Oh yeah, we're way further than we were last year. And you guys, any player that, everybody knows their job, they do their job right, we know the plays. Last year we had a ton of plays we were trying to run, and nobody really knew exactly how to run them. So now we're on track, and Coach Lester got us right.
And it all to kind of just
What's the question?
to bunker down and just go to work and not maybe create that sense.
Still
of
not
buzz.
hearing a question. What's the question again?
I guess is maybe the lack of buzz right now by design for your staff to kind of.
You guys got to learn how to ask questions. There's not a question in there.
Well, unlike that last question, Syracuse football players say they have a much better understanding of the offense this year compared to last season. The Orange expects to be much improved from last year's 3-9 records, but fans can make their own judgment this Saturday at 1 o'clock during the annual spring game inside the Carrier Dome. Also, don't forget to mark your calendars for August 31st, 2019. It's more than 4 years away, but the Syracuse football team just added a home game with Holy Cross to its 2019 schedule. The Orange will also travel to Maryland in a 2019 non-conference contest. U.S. Representative John Katko is asking NCAA President Mark Emmert to reconsider the penalties against the Syracuse University basketball program. In the letter, Katko says that SU must take responsibility for any misconduct, but the sanctions imposed by the NCAA do the most harm to students. Katko also says that the decision-making process is arbitrary and NCAA standards are not uniformly applied across the country. Katko has previously said that he would support a bill in Congress to make the NCAA more accountable. The Brooklyn Nets and Indiana Pacers have losing records this season, but both teams are in the hunt for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. The two teams continued the battle for a playoff spot last night in Brooklyn. There you have a look at head coach Lionel Hollins leading the Nets huddle. Picked this one up second quarter. Brooklyn up 41-25, but C.J. Watson in the corner for a three. He had 13 points. Then we'll see a little unselfish play from Watson. Gets it to Solomon Hill for a three, one of Watson's 6 assists. Now Brooklyn's up by 3, but Joe Johnson is taking over for Brooklyn. Johnson into the lane, step back jumper. And now Johnson passes to Brook Lopez, then finds the open space in the corner. Johnson hits that. 16 of Joe Johnson's 21 points came in the second half. Final score 111-106, and the Nets have a half-game lead for 8th place in the Eastern Conference. Well, the best high school basketball players in the country are in Chicago today for the 2015 McDonald's All-American Game. The game features Syracuse commit Malachi Richardson, who was also New Jersey's High School Gatorade Player of the Year. Center Thomas Bryant is also playing in tonight's game. Bryant is still uncommitted, but has Syracuse on his final list of 4 schools that he's still deciding between. The All-American Game can be seen at 9 o'clock on ESPN. And Syracuse softball is down in the Bronx for a doubleheader with Fordham. The Orange took Game 1 4-2 behind a 3-run home run from Cicero North Syracuse High School grad Sydney O'Hara. Game 2 is currently in the top of the 6th inning. Fordham is winning 5-3.
Thanks, Mike. So what's the latest on recruit Thomas Bryant?
Well, Thomas Bryant, he's got close connections with Syracuse. His mother has outwardly said that she would love to see Thomas Bryant in a Syracuse uniform. But some people say he might want to get away, possibly to Indiana. That's a school that's recruiting him. Right. Kentucky, always a good school to go to if you want to get to the NBA. So Kentucky is up there as well.
Thanks, Mike.
Great.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you. Tomorrow, people in Syracuse.
Well, sometimes you have a technical breakdown.
Don't need it into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Let's take one final look at your wake-up weather with Monica Hammer.
Tomorrow, people in Syracuse will be able to put away their winter coats and boots, even if it's just for a day. We are looking at a high of 62 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Wind speeds will pick up to around 17 miles per hour, but it should still feel a lot warmer than it did earlier this week. While there is an increase tomorrow, temperatures will be dropping again this weekend with the chance of snow on Saturday, so enjoy the warm weather while you can.
Well, thanks, Monica. Hopefully that snow doesn't come for a while now. I'm enjoying this nice little weather hike, but
definitely enjoying it.
We'll see. That's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Citrus TV. I'm Will Gerhard.
And make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date on breaking news. I'm Ali Bauman. Have a great night.